Welcome to this week's Ask Charlie. We are back in the kitchen and we are going to be cooking a courgette and tomato, let's call it a tarte tatin, because it's going to be the other way up, and I thought it would be fun to make. There is a glut of wonderful produce at the moment, and so I thought we should do some cooking with that. I love eating seasonally and using what is fresh and in season. So we're going to first make the pastry. Now today I've got my Kenwood out. We're going to be, it's not cheating, it's just cutting corners and doing it slightly quicker. I shared with you recently how to make a Mirabelle plum tart, and I'm going to leave that video linked down below. So if you don't have a Kenwood, you want to make the pastry by hand, absolutely do so. I'm just showing you another way to make pastry. If you are slightly time poor, this is a really great method. So I'm just going to pop my my Magimix bowl on the scales. I'm going to move you down so you can see. I use Salter digital scales and I absolutely love them because of their accuracy. 200 grams of plain flour, and let's get a big spoon. We'll just measure that straight into our bowl. And then we're going to add 100 grams of unsalted cold butter, pretty much straight from the fridge. I have just quickly diced it up. And the reason why you want it to be cold is because it makes for a much better pastry. You don't want it to be warmed. And I say unsalted, and then we add our own salt because it's much more accurate that way. You can gauge how much salt you're adding in. If you use salted butter, you're not going to know how salty it is. And then we're just going to add a pinch of sea salt. And as I add it in, I just crush it between my fingers. So that is everything. Pop it on your bowl. Lock that in. Where did I put the lid? Over there. And the secret to pastry is not to overwork it. So you just want to blitz it quickly until it just begins to come together. Don't put it on and go off. The secret to pastry is less hands-on time and less processing time. So just quickly bring it together. And that literally was like 20 seconds. And then I've just got a dessert spoon, and we're probably going to add 2 to 3 dessert spoons of water in. I'm going to add 2 to begin with, and as I always say, you can add more but you can't take it away. Just quickly bring that together too. Still looking quite dry. I'm going to add 2 more, and then I think we'll probably be done. It's still looking quite dry, but that's okay. I'm going to tip it into my bowl, and I think it will come together quite nicely. And I think if I just give it a little squidge together, I can bring this together with my hand. Again, don't over squeeze it, but just get it into a ball and then pop it in the fridge for half an hour while we make the rest of it. There we are. I'm just going to pop this in the fridge for 30 minutes and then it'll be ready to use. I've just been out to the greenhouse and got a couple of tomatoes, and I'm using some big ones as well. You can either use cherry tomatoes, big tomatoes, whatever tomatoes you've got. If you want it to be perfect and uniform, go for all the same size tomatoes. But I am literally just throwing this together with what is ready, ripe, and going to be delicious to eat now. I'm just slicing a one red onion, but you could use shallots if you prefer. And then 2 medium-sized courgettes, and just finely slice those and top and tail them. And remember, to make your own vegetable stock, you can just keep all of these, pop them in a freezer bag. Then when you've got enough odds and sods, then you can blitz them up and add some seasoning, and then you've got homemade stock, which is so much better for you than shop bought. I'm just going to add my sliced red onion into a pan. I'm using a pan with a lid because I just find it easier, and a splash of olive oil. I've just turned my alga lids on, and I'm just going to gently fry this, and then we'll add some balsamic and a teaspoon of honey in a couple of minutes once it's started to soften. A year on, let's just chat quickly about the alga. We love it, and Simon is often saying to me, darling, I think I prefer it to the old one. It is so flexible. When you turn the lids on, which these are the lids, that's what I'm referring to, you literally just turn a dial and wait a few minutes and they heat up, so you don't have to have them on the whole time. And then I can easily turn the ovens off from slumber onto roasting and turn them off when it's too hot. I absolutely love it. I got it from Range Exchange, and I will leave them linked down below. They were so helpful. We chatted through exactly kind of what I needed and the space that we had, and I cannot more highly recommend them. This is absolutely brilliant, and I'm thrilled with it. The dog's very happy too. If you wonder what that noise is, it's these two playing. Oh yes, and you two are barking over there as well. So when it's starting to soften, add in a little glug of balsamic vinegar. That is probably about half a tablespoon, I am guessing, and then some honey. I always try and cook with local honey where possible, and local honey has so many amazing health benefits for you. You could use some brown sugar, a teaspoon of brown sugar or a teaspoon of honey, but where possible I try and use honey rather than sugar. And then give that a little stir. I'm just going to add the lid on and let those caramelise and soften beautifully. So that will probably be about 10-15 minutes while I slice my tomatoes and just pot around. My onions are just doing their thing over there. I'm just going to take the lid off the onions, give them a little stir, and let them just evaporate off. I don't want them to be too wet. They are looking mighty fine. Now you could either make it in a pan like this or something like that, loose bottom, or even just a quiche dish. Something that can go into the oven. I have sliced up my tomatoes. I'm going to arrange them in a little bit of a pattern, sort of ish. We'll just see what I've got to play with. A random selection of sizes, but that is not a problem. Like that. And then I'm going to layer courgettes over the top, some black pepper, some sea salt, and then I've just been out to the garden to get some thyme, and I'm just going to pull the leaves off the stalks. We've got all sorts of weather going on at the moment. It's a bit like April showers, but this rain is so welcome. I can literally see the grass growing before our eyes. Now, if you've got fresh thyme, so much better. If not, use dried. And about a teaspoon of thyme leaves. No. These are my gardening shoes that Rosie just decided to try and eat. I love them. and you're not eating the poppet. No, no, no. It's a little bit like having a toddler in the house at the moment with a puppy that is rather enthusiastic about life. And there are our caramelised onions. I'm just going to use a pair of tongs and just sprinkle these over, trying to get them evenly distributed if possible. Now put that to one side, doesn't it look pretty? And get your pastry out, flour the surface, and we're going to roll out our pastry. I'm just going to clear the decks to make space. Right, flour generously your surface, and also flour your rolling pin. Take your pastry that has been chilling in the fridge. I'm just going to warm it a little bit in my hands, and that will help it prevent it cracking. And then we want to roll it out into a circle size, same size as our tin, which I need to tell you that measurement because I can't remember. It's either 23 or 25 centimetres. A ruler at the ready. It is 25 centimetres. I've rolled my pastry out. I have got this awaiting in the wings, and we are going to carefully lift, slide, and flop. And then I want to kind of tuck it down, tuck it in to my tin. We're also thinking rustic. We're not thinking a work of art. So, you know, you can make it a work of art, but I'm just really tucking it in. I've got a knife and I'm just going to trim off the excess. You could also double this pastry recipe, make a second batch and pop it in the freezer, and then that will save time because pastry freezes really well. So there we are. Think kind of rustic. Actually, I'm going to use a fork rather than my knife and just prick it, get some air holes. You could use puff pastry if you wanted, but homemade pastry, I don't think you can beat. Right, this is going into the agar. If you are using a fan oven, 180, I'm going to put it in the roasting oven of my agar, probably for the first 10 minutes. Then I might pop it into my baking oven or use my plain cold sheet. For those agar users, this is your plain cold sheet, and that will just prevent it from burning. But for now, I'm going to pop this in the roasting oven. For ease, because I'm using a loose bottom, just to make handling it slightly easier, I'm going to pop it in my large agar tray and pop that into my oven, and make sure you set a timer so you don't forget about it. So at 10 minutes, I have slid my plain cold sheet in and just checked on it, and I'm utilising my time by filling up the dishwasher and doing washing up. And because I have an agar, I don't need to dry anything. I just pop it on the top, and once it's dry, I pop it away. So that's another perk of the agar. I call it Agar Life, and I do have an online agar course if you are interested. I will also leave that link down below, because once you get to grips with them, they're just absolutely wonderful to cook on. I feel like it's a friend. And once I finish cooking, I'm also going to hang a load of washing out above it. So by the time I get back this afternoon, I'm about to take my daughter riding. Well, once I finish this, in about an hour's time. But when I get back, the load of washing will be dry as well. So that's even better, because it's very showery out there today. It was 1 minute sunshine. I had to take my jumper off because I was overheating, but now it's peeing with rain again. Always remember to take your plain cold sheet out so it's ready for next time you want to use it. Now this has had 30 minutes. It's smelling really good. but I'm going to leave it in there for a few more minutes without the plain cold sheet, just for the top to brown up a little. I just whizzed out to get some more thyme from the garden because I used it all earlier and I should have saved some back, and it just started raining, so I've just had to quickly rough dry my hair. It literally, the heavens opened on me. Now I have taken this out and I'm just going to leave it to sit for about 5 minutes, just to cool slightly, and then we're going to turn it out and it will be the moment of truth. I have crumbled up a little bit of feta, probably about 50 to 75 grams of feta, and I'm just going to get a dish out to turn this onto once it has cooled a little bit. And as you can see behind me, everything on the agar has dried, so I've put it away. Such a good use of time when something is cooking, just have a bit of a clear out, clear the decks, and then I've just got those bits, which actually, let's put those on now. They can dry. And I can put my washing out. Now this is always the tricky bit, getting it out and onto there. So what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? I think oven gloves. Do I want a tea towel? No. What I'm actually going to do, I'm just talking it through. I want to take it out of here and on to there to start with. Carefully pick it up, flip it over, leave it to sit for a moment. Do you like my way I talk it through as I'm thinking? I lost a few of my tomatoes when I transferred it over, but that is fine because we're going to sprinkle the feta and nobody will notice that there's a few smushed tomatoes. It just smells really, really amazing. And then add a few thyme leaves on the top. And then as a little finishing touch, I'm going to mix a little olive oil, gorgeous extra virgin. This is Aeon's ancient root volcanic extra virgin olive oil. I love it. And I use that for sort of dressings and things like that rather than cooking. And then I'm just going to mix a little bit of balsamic and just drizzle a little of that over the top before we serve. Often you think of a tarte tatin as a sweet, and this is obviously a savoury version. So there we are. Doesn't it look delicious? I cannot wait to dig in. I love cooking seasonally, and it's even better if some of it is homegrown as well. I will leave this recipe linked in the description of this video for you so you can print it off, you can keep it, you can recreate it in your own homes. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you hit subscribe. And if you've got friends and family that you think might enjoy my channel as well, please do share it with them. On a Tuesday, I tend to have just a one topic. It might be me sitting down and having a chat, or I might be cooking with you or cleaning or something like that. And then on a Friday, I have a vlog of what I've been up to that week. So that is what you can expect from me. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching this week's video. Hope to see you on Friday for a vlog. And yes, remember, if you're new, hit subscribe. Also ring the bell to be notified of my videos Tuesday and Friday. And lots of love, and thank you so much for watching.